Oh, there it is.
Is it working again?
It's working again.
Nothing stopped?
It is working again. I'm going to report fucking Surreal Talk on Twitch. Fuck this.
All right, well.
I think it's funny how they have the ability to clip us on here. Are you guys in mobile? Twitch mobile is terrible with that. No, we're not. We're better now.
All right, we'll give it a couple more minutes and we'll start the show. Did you go get the... Somebody go get the...
If you're having a problem on Twitch, drop your resolution to 720 or even 480. But yeah, I'm about ready. I gotta go get the stuff off the... Yep.
I guess we don't need a card because we have to pull the audio off YouTube or Twitch anyway. And might as well throw it in for a backup. I'll do it. Just in case we at least got that. All right, Keaton's first on the second time. Let's try this shit again.
Are you having some sort of glitch?
Maybe.
Armand, did you see the graphic Everett made for you on social?
No.
Really?
What graphic? I have no idea.
It's very graphic.
I just hope it's completely tasteless.
About ready.
Death. Rather morbid headline.
What?
Just says death.
You should have seen the graphic.
I was wondering about how can you guys do research on this thing, or did you? I don't know. I thought we were just going to discuss this.
I didn't even know you were aware of what that word meant, Armand.
Oh no. I'm in a
Live video interrupted on Facebook.
Mine's working.
Some people's kids, man.
I think it started a new video whenever I changed the bit rate, honestly.
Think so.
I think so.
And nope. Oh no, there it is. Yeah. Hey.
Everything working now? I think we're good. Is
Yeah, we're
all
in good
platforms
shape.
up?
Yep. Let's rock and roll.
All right.
coffee.
YouTube is yeah, I'm ready. Go for it.
You're listening to Surreal Talk, a look inside the world of cults, conspiracies, and the paranormal.
Something's not right, man. Something's not right. Something's bullshit here, and I don't believe it.
Honestly, this crazy shit could be completely possible.
Disclaimer, we reserve the right to be wrong, ladies and gentlemen.
You're hidden again.
You think you know the whole story? What?
You're hidden.
Think again.
Now
Basically,
your
he looks like
hosts,
Wilson.
Eric and Everett.
That may be better. Hey, all right. Welcome to Surreal Talk, a look inside the world of cults, conspiracies, and the paranormal, a lineupmedia.fm production, and we are back.
What's up, everybody? Another week, another dollar.
Hi, gang. No, 2 weeks. We missed last week.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
a good point. We did miss last week.
That's right.
Why didn't we do a show last week?
I don't know. What was...
Yeah,
Somebody had
go.
a situation.
We should have our arms cut off for it.
Why?
I
Just
don't know.
go
I don't
through
know
life
about-
with no arms.
I don't think that's I don't think that's cool at all.
I think it
You
makes
guys
them-
don't ever imagine that shit? Like what it would be like to not have legs or something or not?
Oh.
Oh,
I don't
man.
spend my time when it'd be like thinking how my life could suck more than it does.
Yeah, I
You know?
don't contemplate disaster.
This life's pretty shitty, but I'm going to go ahead and think about what it'd be like if I was blind and deaf.
Well, I'm already blind.
Well,
If I want to get depressed, I just look at the stock market.
Well, okay.
yeah, shit's rough, man. Sorry about that.
Boy, it's
Us
bad-
plebs
bad
don't even have the
today.
money to put in there. We feel real bad for you.
Well, you can only lose. I can only go down to 0, so I can't lose any more.
Don't give them any ideas.
That's the good news.
That's the good news. We're doing near-death experiences today on the main show, but I wanted to talk real quick about Corona. And again, it just keeps being in the news.
It's BS.
Well, how do you explain the fact that in the last 2 weeks,
I'd like to get, while we're here, I'd like to get my ex-partner's view, Dr. Horowitz. What do you
Dr.
think about
Horowitz?
the coronavirus?
Is his name Barry?
No, Michael.
Oh.
Michael Horowitz. Feet for Life. Anybody in the St. Louis area has got some podiatry problems.
There you go, free plug.
Don't go to Armand. Go to
He's a
this
good
guy.
doctor. Okay.
What I was going to say, though, in the last 2 weeks, there has been a 13-fold increase in the number of cases.
13-fold. It could probably be more than that. I'm sure a lot of
probably
people
could
are
be.
walking around with it don't even know, which just goes to show you.
Did you
it's
wash
not a
your
big
fucking
problem.
Which
hands
scares
today?
me that in 2
Hell
weeks from
no.
now, what it could be.
Took a big crap.
You know what I
Didn't
mean?
wash my hands.
If in 2 weeks
touched
ago,
my face.
if in 2 weeks ago it went up 13-fold, what in 2 weeks from now is it looking like?
26-fold.
It's not exponential.
It was a joke,
It could be. Why couldn't it be?
because that's not how it propagates.
Sure it is.
It's not a differential equation.
It's classified
it
as
is.
a pandemic.
It's not
today.
1 to 1, just a 1 to 1 to 1. It's 1 to many. That's exponential.
How do they know? How do they know there's 1,300 cases?
That's
what I want to
WHO.
know.
WHO knows, okay?
Yeah, who?
In 1,300 cases in the United States?
There's more than that now.
Well, who cares? There's 330 million people in this country.
Well, what if about in 2 weeks it is up to, say, 13 times that? There's 14,000.
You want to bet? I'll bet it's not.
I'm not saying there is, but I'm saying
what if?
what
Nothing.
if, Armand?
It's not that virulent. People are going to get sick, and that's it. It goes away. If you're 85, then you should be worried. I'm worried for my dad.
What is the
Yeah.
harm? What is the harm
If he
of
catches
being?
it could kill him.
What is the harm in being, a little bit safer? You know what I mean?
Okay,
A little
what do you
more
mean by
precautious.
safer?
Just a little more precaution. Wash your hands a little more.
Sure. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You should be doing that anyway.
You should be, but most people
Okay.
don't. Do you think there's no
if you're
cause?
sick, stay home. Yeah, there's nothing wrong
So
with
anybody
that. Don't go to
self-quarantining
work.
right now, you think is a bad
Sure.
idea?
But I mean,
What if you're not sick, though?
we're shutting down the whole economy. Look, they shut down the St. Patrick's Day. It's not gonna be a Green River up in Chicago. That's horrible.
That's unfortunate. There's a lot of
Yeah,
money
that's
goes on that up
stupid.
there. But if it keeps a few hundred people from possibly dying,
I don't think
Eventually?
it will. I don't think it will.
more,
How can canceling? I don't think that canceling the St. Patrick's Day festivity. They're not doing it in St. Louis. I believe they're having, and good for them.
well, Chicago has confirmed cases.
I think it's an overreaction.
Well, fair enough, Eric. Overreaction, or you think it's
warranted. I think it's warranted. I don't want to die.
Yeah, I don't even really want to get extra sick.
Oh,
But
it's not the
I
flu.
know it only like
It's not the
hits-
cold.
Well, right, but I know it only
It's
really
the same. It's the
really
same
fucking
organism.
Really affects
Cold
the
is a
older people.
coronavirus. It's the same family.
The cold is a rhinovirus, isn't it?
No, it's coronavirus. Well,
What's
there's
the-
several
I don't know
types. They're
enough
different.
about-
They're all kind. I think influenza is coronavirus. A cold, yeah, it's rhino, but
What's
influenza. Herpes?
Yeah. You should know this.
Varicella.
Varicella. Good to know.
Really, Armand?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You dripping? any kind
Are
of,
you
Next time
positive?
I have shingles, I'll
Bloop.
take a culture. Well, let's see.
Are you
Oh,
positive?
he's whipping out his phone, everybody.
Well,
Armand's
I mean,
gonna.
we
This is
strive
the
for
most research he
exactitude.
did on the show
Yeah,
ever.
I know. I
It's
don't.
just like right over his head. Anyways,
You about ready to get ready?
I've been ready.
Ready already? We'll let Armand do his Google and we'll start the meat here. So, like we said before, we're talking about near-death experiences and what happens in that little space right before you die or between life and death.
Yeah, everybody talks about the white light and shit. You know,
The tunnel, seeing God, seeing
Yeah,
family members.
from what I've read, they all see
Going
the same
home.
thing pretty much, right? Isn't that how it goes?
There's a lot of commonalities.
Yeah. Does that strike you as odd?
Does it strike me as odd? No. I mean, why would it be odd that everybody who ever lives dies, right? And anybody who's brought back, there's a good chance that they would have a similar experience. We all have similar physiology.
I don't know.
We don't have similar physiology?
I would think that we do.
Yeah, we all have basically the same brain, right? What do you got there, Armand? You're very.
I'm looking up.
I'll give you a minute.
It's the herpes virus.
Yeah,
That's what he's looking at.
varicella zoster virus, human alpha herpes virus 3.
I'll call you in
usually
some Valtrex. It's going to be fine.
Varicella zoster virus. Yep, herpes.
Very good.
Okay, now I got that straight now.
Now that we got that straight, I wish I never asked. What was I talking about?
Now that everybody knows.
El Chapo died from the flu already. I'm glad he got better. Laurar's right. Carano's mass hysteria, of course.
But yeah. About the near-death stuff. Have you ever died?
Well, I've had several I consider close to death, but I've never had to be resuscitated.
Have you
I've
ever
never
died?
No, but I'm just
Neither
saying.
have
The point I was making is, you think it makes it more plausible that people are having these experiences because they're similar? I would think they'd all be different.
Why would you
That
think
would-
they're different?
Because everybody has, I don't know. I mean,
What if it's
everybody's
all
going to
this-
heaven.
Well, I mean, what if
heaven
that's
is
the
a thing?
case? If
Well,
that's the case, then that would explain why they're all similar, right?
People in Indian culture report
Right.
seeing their God whenever they die. So it's not like everybody goes and sees the same
Who is-
Christian God.
Which God?
I got that
Vishnu?
here. No, hold on. I got that.
Ganesha.
I don't have herpes.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
I got a cold sore. You're right. I do
Right.
have herpes, yeah.
Right.
But I haven't had it in a while.
Okay, I have it on one of my open tabs here.
Yeah, which god? I mean, the Egyptians, which god do they see? Set?
All right, the Hindu king of the
Hathor?
dead, Yamraj. The Hindu king of the dead,
Oh,
Amraj.
Amraj. I'm not familiar with that god.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, that's pretty much a commonality, even though you're not seeing the god or whatever the god, if there is the god. You're
That
seeing
tells
a
me
god.
that tells me that there's. I think that tells me it's phony.
Armand,
it
what do you
phony?
know about DMT?
DMT.
Yeah.
Well, we're all over right now, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're just going crazy.
What's DMT?
Tryptophan.
Tryptophan?
No, not tryptophan.
I don't think so.
It's dimethyl.
It's a chemical, more or less a drug. It's kind of like a psychedelic,
Ayahuasca.
so to speak. Yeah. You ever heard of ayahuasca?
Mm-mm.
So that's a drink, the way they do it. Any which way, it's a chemical you take that basically puts you in another fucking world.
Okay.
So a lot of
Right.
people,
And you hallucinate, I guess.
you hallucinate, but a lot of people
That's
say
what this
it's,
sounds like.
it's exactly the same thing as a life after death experience. And there's a one doctor, and I have his name here. Oh God!
So what does that tell you?
What does that tell me? What?
What does that tell
Some
you?
sort of
You're the doctor.
neurochemical. It tells me it's some sort of neurochemical reaction.
I wouldn't disagree with that at all.
Okay.
The brain produces the DMTs.
The
So,
brain
like,
does
Okay.
not produce DMT.
well, and that's I'm getting to that, man. You just shit all over though. That's a
Tryptamine.
common
Someone said
misconception.
it's tryptamine.
Yeah, it is dimethyltryptamine.
Tryptoline or tryptamine?
Tryptamine.
Right. Tryptoline's that's a antidepressant.
Dr. Rick Strassman. So he's a professor of psychiatry.
Okay.
He's the one that's going around saying that people are they produce natural DMT at birth and death.
That makes sense to me. Okay, I'll buy that one.
During birth, that's kind of fucking interesting, though.
When you get all the accounts of people that the majority of people that have got high and tripped on DMT, they all say it was a spiritual experience.
Is this a recreational drug people use?
Yeah, yeah.
Watch
Okay.
Joe Rogan.
But
He's
it's
he's
also-
talked about it 100 times about
All
how
right.
we.
But more than that, it's also they use it for therapeutic reasons for if you have was that PTSD?
Same
Yeah.
thing they use mushrooms for anyway. It's
Really?
they're trying to do a brain reset, is what it is.
Yeah.
People report having a lot less depression after usage, things like that.
But what I was getting at is that people say they saw God when they trip on it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so
and that's what these people think too, right?
the people that are dying, yeah. So there's a commonality between I don't know the link, but there's got to be somewhere where your brain's producing or something in your body's producing, or there's a lack of that causes it to produce.
Probably lack of oxygen, maybe.
I don't
That's
know.
all. That's what I always thought. You
See the white light, the tunnel, God,
you
going
see all
home.
kinds of crazy things.
I guess.
If you're oxygen deprived.
Did you know there's a scale for NDEs?
Yeah, I've heard of it. It was a Grayson scale. isn't
Exactly.
it?
Bruce
Yeah.
Grayson.
Scales for everything.
He was one of the first doctors to study NDEs seriously.
Sick of these scales. Jesus.
As a doctor, you think you'd want some way to measure it, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't know.
It's kind of subjective.
Yeah, this.
But
I mean, like the Mercalli scale, I can see is Saffir-Simpson.
sure, I don't know what you're
Mercalli's
talking about.
tornadoes. Saffir-Simpson's earthquakes.
What was the first one you said?
Mercalli?
Mercalli? I thought
Modified
it was the F scale,
Mercalli.
the Fujita scale. Fujitsu
I
scale?
think modified Mercalli is tornadoes.
Like an
right?
F3, F4, F5?
Fuji, yeah, but I think there's more than one. Or
Is
is
there?
Mercalli the earthquakes?
That's Richter.
Well,
He's all over
yeah,
the
I'm
place.
talking about damage though. The damage from the earthquake.
Ah,
not,
okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Judge that in
that's they
billions.
scale
Armand.
it by how much damage.
That's true.
is done.
That's measured in dollars.
Seismic intensity scale, intensity of shaking produced by an earthquake.
Isn't that the Richter or no?
Yeah, but that's I
It's a
think
different Richter.
That's
Shut up.
That's the strength I think of the actual quake. The Mercalli is how much damage it does.
Oh, so it's kind of like
mean-
horsepower, but horsepower at the flywheel.
No, it's a lot like weight versus mass.
I don't believe that either.
Could
Two different
I don't
things.
know about that analogy, but
So anyway, Grayson, he created this scale, right? It counts the intensity of the experience on 16 separate counts of feelings, such as joy or encountering spiritual beings or a sense of being separated from one's body. So you get 2 points for each of these things that you trip on, right? Each one of the little things you can say you did, with a possible max score of 32. And if you have 7 or higher, you are classified as having an NDE. But most actual people who have had NDEs, they score about a 15 on the scale.
so what now is it goes 0 to 2 on each rating?
So there's 16 different
Right, and
things you
0
can
to
check
2.
off. Each one is worth 2 points.
Right.
Do you
have
have
up
the
to-
test?
No,
Maybe we could take during the social.
well, none of us have had a near-death experience.
Why don't we give him a shot of
So how do we test
digitalis
it?
and
Well,
see what
I had a
happens?
near-death experience.
What's
What was
digitalis?
that makes your
Put
heart
him down?
That'll make your heart stop.
Like flatliners?
Yeah, kind of. I was just going to bring that up. Is this? I don't remember what happened when they went under.
That's exactly what my issue was. That's what I had to have Everett re-explain that fucking movie
So
to me. 'Cause I
they kept
forgot.
trying to go under so you can
Right.
be there longer, and they're trying to
Correct.
figure out what's going on between life and death. But they
Yeah.
were having experience with some of their sins in the past. People they
Oh,
had
is that what
wronged.
was going on?
Right, and they were kind of bringing them back, or at least in their head.
Did
Bringing
you
them
like
back.
it? I don't remember.
I thought it was a pretty decent movie
Yeah.
for an early '90s little shit movie. Had a good cast. It had Kevin Bacon, Oliver
Kiefer
Platt,
Sutherland.
Sutherland was in it,
Sutherland, Julia Roberts. Who
Roberts,
else
yeah.
was in it?
Oh.
Weren't they all residents? They were all interns.
Fucking
The
one of the
doctors,
bald
I
ones.
yeah,
thought, right?
well, but I don't think they're
It
quite.
was one of the bald ones was in there too.
Yeah, they were interns, I believe.
They were
right?
at school. They were all in school still.
Oh, they were in school.
They were
in-
students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
we
that was a
didn't
good
do any of
flick.
that stuff when
What
I
would you
was
do
a
if
student.
if your fucking buddy comes to you and is like, bro, let me kill you?
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool. Like, just dude.
What if you were
trust me,
given
just die for a
100%
second.
chance, 100% chance of being resuscitated with zero side effect? Would
Yeah.
you let it happen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%,
but,
yeah,
That's
bring
a pretty
it.
big.
I'll even be the guinea pig.
Dude, that's
first
like
one.
saying though.
That's not exactly a given.
Wait, is there money involved?
No, but just saying you're given.
Yeah, how much do I get?
Okay, let's put it like this: like a roller coaster that you would never want to ride, but you're told there's like absolutely all but the zero chance that you're going to die on this thing. It's the same
all
thing.
but and 100% are two totally different
Well,
things.
think about this: the Screaming Eagle in St. Louis has been running for 40 fucking years, and nobody's ever got killed on it. So it's basically 100% chance you're never going to die on it. That kind of chance. But you never know. Fucking
You
bolt
said
could
no
break.
side effects though.
Well, getting in your car, you could.
I'm trying to make it close, but not
All
close.
right. Yeah, I would. Sure.
You
Yeah.
take that ride?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to jump down the fucking ski lift on that one. You know what I mean? Jump off the lift and say, "Go ahead and kill me."
Nah.
Really?
You're gonna bring me back, right?
Yeah. Unless
I don't
like,
think I'd count on
there's
him
one
to
in
do
a
it.
billion.
I want.
chance,
I'm
maybe
gonna.
not.
I'll have a contract.
How about your ex-wife? What if she's in the controls?
Fuck no. God damn.
He's
not a
already
chance.
dead.
The odds of death would go up
Not a
significantly.
chance.
The odds of survival would be very slim.
Yes. Hey, what's this?
I went to
Unbreakable?
lunch and forgot. Fuck.
You Ruiz said.
He's
Bruce
on 18
Willis-
minutes. He's
Yeah.
gonna be fine.
It's
Yeah,
all right.
I'll
My
be
Taco
back.
Bell's done in four and a half hours. So
I got a phone call.
yeah.
So what is Unbreakable a near-death experience movie?
I mean,
I didn't
kind of.
see it.
He was in a train wreck where every single person on the train died except him, and he walked away unscathed.
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 And he thought he
everybody
was-
else was
That
scathed.
was Bruce
Spoilers.
Willis. They all died. Like everybody on the train died.
Every single person.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't want to give away the end, but I think I realized. Yeah, I think
Well,
I read the script.
yeah,
I didn't see the movie.
There's a sequel to it called I think it's Glass.
Well, that's right, but it's a combination of the two
And
of them,
it's
right?
Split, which is the
Right,
James
I-
McAvoy
Right,
movie,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Which I had never seen Split, so
Yeah.
I haven't seen the other one either, Glass. But I did see Unbreakable. They're M. Night movies, man.
Yeah.
I didn't
Fucking
know
not.
Unbreakable was
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, me either. Me fucking either.
All right. How about the Mohs scale? Remember that one?
For hardness?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know
Another
that.
scale.
Yeah. Well, that's not subjective either, though.
What's that got to do with near death?
We're
He's
talking
just
about
coming up with scales.
All these stupid
Oh,
scales.
I got one in my bathroom on my desk.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a million different scales.
Not
yeah.
that scale. The scale on you play on when you're practicing your piano.
Mm. Do re mi fa sol la ti do.
So I
Yeah,
got a
something like
list
that.
here of the commonalities of what people experience
right,
when they
yeah.
die. Let's go through those real quick.
Okay.
A sensation of floating up. You heard people say that before? I kind of felt like I was floating. man.
Above
That
my
I've
body.
heard. Yeah, I
Sounds like a
see myself or I've seen the,
astral projection.
I kind of put these
Kinda.
in an order of which they might occur after death here. So rapid movement through a long, dark tunnel with a bright light at the end.
I've heard that.
Variations of that. Dark tunnel, long tunnel, bright light at the end. Variations of it.
That's that one. Seems like that one movie with the kid that
Macaulay Culkin? My Girl?
Home Alone. No,
Oh.
Look who's talking.
No, Macaulay Culkin
no,
died.
that Faith movie. They about the kid that drowned and they brought him back.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I forgot that. Yeah, that's like the biggest movie or one of the biggest movies that ever dealt with
Yeah.
us. It was based on a book that was a New York Times bestseller for 200
And the
weeks.
movie made a lot of money too.
Yeah, 97 million, I think it made.
Faith-based
I remember reading
movie.
about that
Yeah.
today,
I
yeah.
think that's what he saw, as I remember, his bright light.
Yeah, something
Anyway,
like that.
Okay.
An out-of-body experience
Special effects, of course.
and seeing a scene in a third person, such as being an observer to your own life.
Right.
So that's pretty common.
Okay.
Spending time in an otherworldly, often beautiful realm.
Okay.
Meeting
That'd be
spirits
nice.
and or angels.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Being in the presence of a god or the god or some sort of loving entity is reported. pretty
Doesn't
often.
anybody ever
Higher
see the
power.
devil or anybody go to hell?
Hell,
would
not
think,
not
you know,
and
half
come
and
back.
half.
Not and come back.
You know, I did read about that
Constantine,
today,
that's
but
it.
there isn't a lot.
You know, you would think.
There isn't a lot of talk about what happens there. Mostly, it's just like
I don't think I'd want to bring it up.
basically what I read was a lot like the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Whenever the bad guys die in that, the shadows turn into these little
Scared
fucking
the fuck out of me as a
turn
kid.
these little screaming devils that pull you down
Oh,
into
yeah,
the
yeah,
shadows. and you're
demons or
gone.
whatever, yeah.
Did you ever see
Right.
Constantine? How he would like go into the other like hell? He would fucking put his feet in a bucket of water and then like shock the fuck out of himself or
Kill
something.
himself?
Yeah, basically. And then like time stopped, like where a drip would drip and it would be going like that. And like he was there for an hour or whatever, and it would still be, and he'd come right back out of it. Yeah, it was
Time
pretty
dilation.
fucking gnarly,
I'll have
man.
to rewatch that. It's a Marvel movie.
They only
No,
made-
Constantine?
Constantine, yeah.
With
It's a Marvel
fucking
comic.
John Wick in
Keanu
it?
Reeves.
Really?
Keanu Reeves.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if Marvel had much to say to do with it, but that's a Marvel property.
I had no idea.
A friend of mine
Might
was
be
in that
DC.
movie.
Is it Marvel or DC? I think it's Marvel. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Encountering lost relatives is apparently, like I saw my mom. Or I saw my brother, and he told
that
me to
makes
tell you
sense
hi.
too. Now,
That'd be
these are
fucking
all
weird.
explainable, of course.
Are they? Explain any one of them.
We just talked about it. Hypoxia. You see, you hallucinate.
Death of the
Well,
brain.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Of
can't
course,
be
you're going
for
to see
sure,
all kinds
though.
of wild crap.
Can't be for sure. Recalling scenes from one's own life, like your life flashing before your eyes.
Yeah,
you hear that a lot.
Okay.
Feeling a connection to all creation. I guess that's kind of like whenever you win the prize at the end of Highlander. I feel everything.
Well, there can be only one, so that would be being the one, becoming one with
Becoming
the
the
force.
one with everything. Let's see. A feeling of universal love. I've heard of people who
I've
have
never had that.
who have drowned, or have almost drowned, and come back and just felt like a overwhelming feeling of like being enveloped in love is what they said. I just felt so loved. Never heard that. Which
That's
no, they're 18.
perverse.
What you looking for? Pen, ink pen? I got one. You can use. It's a Sharpie.
Oh, I had no idea.
Anyway,
You making comments?
No.
some people say that what they experience in the space between life and death is more real than what real life is. Have you ever heard that? Like it was so real, it was more real than what I.
Well, I could see that would be very vivid. I mean, if you're checking out.
I
and
mean, I've had
your
dreams
brain's-
that I've woke up from that seem more real than what I'm experiencing when I wake up.
See, to me, it'd be almost like
You're
your
fucking
heart.
groggy though.
Your heart goes into tachycardia, or it's beating. Your brain might do the same thing. Where you're just it's overloaded almost. You
Yeah.
see all kinds of crazy, vivid things with the accompanying sensation too. I don't know. It makes sense to me. You're right, El Chapo.
What's El Chop say?
Hell is here on earth. He's damn right.
In the Bible, that's what where hell is.
Boy, I'll say.
Really?
Hell is other people. Jean-Paul Sartre.
Being called back, generally reluctantly, from beyond to their bodies. People, they get called back.
Boy, you'd be pissed off, huh? That'd be funny.
What do you
Let
mean?
me back.
You sue your doctor.
I
was
felt
having a
like I
great
wanted to
time.
die.
till
You
prick-
son of a
that
bitch!
prick fucking revived
72
me.
virgins, but
Think about that. I ain't
there were
seen
72
Oh, a
virgins
Muslim
waiting
would be
for me.
really
I haven't seen my
I was
mom
this
in
close.
30 years.
Yeah, and you're
Or I haven't seen my mom or husband or wife in 30 years. I finally got I was this close to a hug them.
and you
Put me
brought her
back.
back. And you brought me back.
Just stab me in the neck.
You know what happens then? That leads to suicides.
That would lead to suicide.
That
you
would lead to
think.
suicide. I'm sure of
I
it.
don't know. Maybe you still have the
I wonder how many people go through
feeling of
that.
love.
Oh fuck, man! I never thought of that before.
Like if it's such a positive experience, that space between life and death, and you want to get back there, I wonder how many people thought like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna kill myself."
Yeah, like I'll get back somehow, right?
I saw my mom. I want to see my mom.
You don't
again.
have that in your notes?
My mom's alive. Everybody, don't calm down. I'm just
That's
using this
I guess
example. Mom, if you're listening, I hope you're fine.
that's 36 on the Grayson scale, I guess.
What, all 36?
Suicidal,
Yeah.
upon return.
Sense of being changed or different after they come back,
That's understandable.
and having trouble readjusting to life. So they
What was
say,
this thing you were saying though about love? Oh, they have this feeling of love.
like they're just enveloped in like a blanket of love. It's hard to explain. You know how like it's hard to like put
That one
words
does-
in some of these experiences people have.
yeah.
It's the closest thing you can do.
I got a word
whenever
for
it's
it.
whenever it's not like a corporeal experience.
Well, right. That's what
It's
they're
like
saying.
how do you explain how it would be to live as God? You
Indis-
can't.
Indescribable is what they're saying. It's
Right.
they're as close as they can.
Right. It's
Still
just
wouldn't
close.
be a feeling of love.
Well, maybe maybe that's what you feel whenever you no longer have a body and your energy becomes one with whatever the other energy is. You just feel like you're becoming part of it, and it is a positive energy. Maybe I don't know. This is all spitballing, but
So have you ever had a near-death
I hope that's the way it
experience?
is, don't you?
See guys like you at the airport all the time.
Hare Krishna.
yeah,
Hare
one of them.
Are you done with the
Shave your head.
commonalities?
I got. I was just gonna say that people
Where's your
often
tambourine?
change their career or leave their spouses after this because they have
Oh,
such
it's
trouble
that-
reconnecting.
It's that detrimental and big of an impact on them.
Think about it. If you just died, it's simple from enough. Think about it in like a midlife crisis situation. I could have just died. I have done nothing, and I'm really not happy with my life. I have to make a change. That's the simple, like, not fucked up in the head way to do it. Then there's the people who could have no
That could be
explanation of
constructive,
why they feel different. I just feel fucking different after I almost died. I just
got to
know my
do
life
something
isn't
different.
this.
Can you imagine like that happens to like your spouse and then they come
You
out
were
and
there.
they're like
Imagine that you're there for them the whole fucking time.
6-8 months in a coma maybe.
and they come back.
You're gonna have to go, bud.
I was talking to my friend Larry. He died when I was 8. Anyway, he said
Larry said
pretty
that.
much done.
Go fuck
See, now
yourself.
That would be interesting. Do they have? Is any of this your research? Like somebody that's been in a coma and flatline? I guess they still haven't, because these EEGs are pretty much basically your brain dead, and some of these people come out of it.
So let me
wonder what
give you a
they
little
experience.
story here.
You would think they'd have a lot of time to be
Actually, let me
floating
go through
around.
2 separate stories of an NDE.
Hang on, I was going to ask about if you guys have had any near-death experiences. You've had 0
I
near-death
almost hit a train one night. I was so drunk.
in your
The guy,
car?
Yeah, guy threw a flare at me, and I just barely missed him. The guy threw a flare off. It was over there at Granite City Steel, and they got a guy on the back with
Like on a
He
caboose or
saved
were
my life because he threw a flare at me.
Were you just
my
not paying
God.
attention?
That's how fast I was.
He was
going.
drunk, he just said.
I was drunk
Oh,
on
you
my
were
ass.
drunk,
I was
yeah.
come back from a fraternity party at WashU.
I don't know. I
would've
feel
been
like
dead.
I've died nearly 100 times
That
in my
was
car. Like,
sobering.
accidentally just pulled out and almost didn't, or ran a stop sign.
Yeah,
Coulda,
we've had
shoulda
some
died.
close calls
But
anytime, but
I've never
that's
been in a bad
adrenaline.
wreck.
I think that's just adrenaline though, when it's really pumping.
Right. That's not a near-death experience. That's like,
No.
oh, I fucked up and it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Let's see. Whenever I had my spleen problem a few years ago, whenever I had that splenal infarction where I had a stroke in my spleen, they said I would have died had I not come to the hospital within a day.
Probably. Yeah.
Now, that's close to death, but I do not
Seems
consider
like
that
you're
a
close to
near-death.
death every time you take a crap.
Yeah, it seems like it some days.
Yeah. Do you have
But-
these wild
No,
visions?
I'm sitting there just rocking back and forth.
You'd like to float above that toilet, wouldn't you?
I'm coughing.
You just go down into the plumbing. You don't float.
No, we all float.
You're a
that sort of thing.
sinker.
So, but you've never had any just
No.
straight up near death?
No.
I've never been close to dying. I've
Right,
never had to be
never.
resuscitated mouth to mouth. I've never almost drowned. I've never fallen off of a fucking house and knocked myself silly.
Have you ever seen somebody die? That's an interesting.
First
Have you
hand?
ever seen someone die?
Yeah.
I don't
Saw
think
my
I
mother
have.
I
die,
haven't either.
and I've seen patients die
I've
before.
seen animals die. We've been there for an animal's last minutes, but never for a person, I don't think.
No, not for a person. I put a dog down. That was terrible.
Yeah. I've had animals that, got hit by cars, and I don't know, man. I don't think I've ever seen a person even close to their last minutes.
No, not even the last day. I don't think.
Last day, yeah. Dude, I got a horrible story.
Oh, please.
Here we go.
When my father-in-law, his dad passed, right? He knew he was close. And the day he was dying, I mean, he was freaking out. Like, he didn't want to go. He knew he was so close to dying. He's screaming, just
This is the
thrashing
father-in-law's
about.
father?
Yeah, he was like 90-something.
Usually they don't know it's. Wow, he knew it was coming. Huh?
Impending doom. That's
Interesting.
what I said. They sensed
He
it.
knew. He was lashing out. And
Wow.
his son just said it was so hard to watch. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Fuck yeah! Can you imagine that? That would be fucking.
I thought they
terrible,
went.
dude.
I saw him go peacefully. I never seen anybody thrashing about.
And I saw him earlier that day, the day he died. We went to the hospital to visit him.
Was
'cause,
he freaking out?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, he wasn't.
What
just-
killed him?
I don't remember. He's old. Might have had cancer or something. Don't recall.
Natural
He's in his
causes.
90s. Though I do have a funny story. One time we went to like Outback or something, and I think the waitress told him they were out of straws or something, like something very minute. He's like, "Oh, you fucking bitch." He's in his 90s, so
Awesome.
you know.
Woo!
We were like, "Okay."
They're like, that was a little extreme. But you're right, because she didn't bring a second fucking serving of bread out here, so fuck her. You know.
Something like that.
Nowadays you don't get a straw anyway. So
Let's hang her.
boy, he'd really.
I've
be
never
pissed.
had a near-death experience to the point where like I've crash cart like you were saying or anything like that. But I had a chain break, and like the part that snapped come back by my face, and that was pretty nuts.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Here's another little talking point I got. Most reported near-death experiences are positive and had even helped in reducing death anxiety, which is interesting, affirming life and increasing well-being. However, some near-death experiences are negative and include feelings such as lack of control, awareness of non-existence, hellish imagery, or perceived judgment from a higher being.
Okay, that's what I was getting around to. How come nobody has any bad?
Nobody ever comes back and says, "I saw St. Peter." You ever notice that? Nowhere in any of this.
Right,
Make
like
it to
well,
the
that
birth
they
takes
didn't
gate.
a
even
while,
check
doesn't
me
it?
at the gate, bro. Like
Yeah,
I didn't even get checked at the
you gotta
gate.
float
Give me
up
your
there.
weed, and then wait, when we get there, I'll take it in with me.
They haven't achieved escape velocity yet. It takes a while,
Right?
right? Isn't that how it goes?
I don't think so.
17,000 miles per hour, is that what you're talking about?
Well, yeah, you got to. Well,
Saying to get to heaven, you got
heaven's
to
what
have
around
Gotta
Uranus
raise a little
or
hell.
Neptune.
heaven is around my anus.
Ugh, that's hell. If I've.
He's the one who said it.
Oh my God.
Not me. Let's see.
Some tar
Neuroscientists
pits.
Olaf Blanc and Sebastian Duguez
Who were
have
they?
proposed 2 types of near-death experiences. Type 1, which is associated
Another
with
scale. All
Indeed.
right, here we go.
is associated with the brain's left hemisphere, features an altered sense of time and impressions of flying. The other type, type 2, which involves the right hemisphere of the brain, is characterized by seeing or communicating with spirits, hearing voices of sounds and music.
Is any of this feasible to you? Sounds like they're making shit up.
Dude,
to
I don't
me.
know.
Yeah.
I don't
Talking
know.
about anecdotal evidence.
So these neuroscientists, I guess they. I don't know. I need
They've
to.
got nothing better to do. Nothing better to
checking
study.
NDEs?
Yeah, checking this stuff out.
No, but they got some interesting tests. Like a way they're going to test for like a near-death experience. I'll go over here in a few minutes.
PKE
Please
meter.
do.
Not a PKE meter. Psychokinetic energy. You know that's what that meant?
No, I did not know. The psychokinetic energy is what that meant?
Yeah, PKE meter.
My friend Riley said something completely different.
What did he say?
I don't know. So
Just
she
don't recall.
yeah.
What are the Zener cards?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, the ones they check your ESP with.
Nah, never fucked with it. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna look that up though. I want to check mine.
Didn't you see Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
I think
course
that's what
not.
you're using. There's
Oh, at the beginning of it was
yeah.
okay.
Those
yeah,
are Zener cards.
And he kept
I believe.
zapping the guy, and he'd get him
Yeah,
right. And
right.
zap
But the
him
good-looking gal was getting them all right.
Yeah, all wrong. Anyway.
or all whatever. Yeah, doesn't matter.
Let's see. This says, while it's unclear why there are two different types of near-death experiences, the different interactions between the brain regions produce these distinct experiences. I say objection speculation.
What do you mean?
How the fuck do these two neuroscientists are really going to go in and say that your left hemisphere features an altered sense of time and your right, is hearing voices and shit? It just seems like, how you coming to that?
Pretty arbitrary to me. I don't know.
Well, that's the same thing as they say your right hemisphere controls your art and your left controls your
Right.
science.
Math.
I'm
is
a
on,
left brain
yeah,
person.
Math is on the left.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
You're a whole brain like
you
the
guys
rest
don't.
of us.
You don't believe all that, or no?
No,
you believe
no,
you
I
don't believe there's
don't
regions
buy
of
all
the
that
brain that
There's
have,
plenty of regions in the brains that do different shit.
Right.
But to say someone is left brain or right brain, they're
Yeah.
donkey brained is what they are.
Yeah, Broca's area is where your speech is. They know stuff like this.
Shad Nadim.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
I will stab you with this blue pen right on your white shirt. Just so we're aware.
All right. Continue.
Anesthetics such as ketamine could simulate near-death
Yeah.
experience and out-of-body experiences.
Oh, that'll
Can you
mess
get us
up.
any ketamine?
Ketamine?
It's like a horse tranquilizer, right? Special
Yeah,
K.
yeah,
they
they
call
use
it.
it. For dissociative anesthesia.
I'd like to dissociate.
There you go. That's a happy patient, boy, on ketamine.
Really? Can you
Oh,
get
yeah.
that? Really?
That's a happy
No,
patient.
Is that an opioid?
Nope.
I
Ketamine?
told you my
Nope,
DEA
it's
license
tranquilizer.
So
expired.
is it not
It's
a?
a tranquilizer.
Is it addictive?
Oh.
I don't know about that. It's not. I don't think it's narcotic.
How much
per
can I do
se.
without dying?
Here we go again.
Well, I don't want to have
What
a
are you,
near-death
are-
experience
are
by
you a
having a
right brain or
near-death
left brain?
experience.
Are you a right brain person or left brain?
I'm donkey brain.
It
I did it
depends.
one time, and I
Ketamine?
saw spots, like just black spots in my vision. I was higher than fuck.
I do that from
Where'd you get the
coughing earlier.
ketamine?
From
Don't fucking worry
Bruce.
about it.
Hey man, where'd you get the
He
shit?
got it from a guy named Bruce, narc. Fucking Officer O'Malley over there.
No shit. Did you see him going? He's about to tell us. now.
Yeah.
This is the part you're going to want to pay attention to.
Dr. Horowitz called the DEA.
We're going to find the source.
Okay. All right.
Ross
Other-
in chat says
that's-
that he was on heavy anesthesia during a surgery and saw the light.
Ooh,
Who
man.
was?
Ross Horan.
Oh, Ross. Okay. Yeah, Ross is.
You know, that's got to
pretty
be weird to
bright guy.
experience too. Do you wake up and realize what you've experienced, or does it feel like while you're experiencing it, you're having a conscious experience?
Right. Like, is it just for?
Like I wasn't. You were
or-
out for 4 hours, but you experienced. Maybe I experienced X amount of time that I feel like I wasn't asleep.
Well, we were always told there's like I think it's like 1 out of 1,000 or whatever that actually, no matter how low they are, they know what's going on. It's like 1 in 1,000, I believe, that have
Oh, so no matter
cognitive
how-
anesthesia or whatever. So watch what you say all the time anyway, because you never know when
they-
somebody's listening.
Can they still feel it?
Yeah, they don't feel it, but they
Okay,
know
but-
what's going on.
Oh,
They're
okay.
still
Like your
basically
ears
awake.
aren't turned off, and it's
Not
still
me.
feeding.
Wisdom tooth out. Fuck, bud. That
Count
was-
backwards from 10. 10.
I can
Yeah,
remember
that's
hearing.
it.
Like I literally heard this as a doctor and a nurse, and she's like, "All right, give me your arm," and I'm like, and the doctor's like, "Look at him. He's not gonna be able to do anything. Grab his arm like this and turn it over." I swear to God, that was the last thing I fucking remember.
When I got a colonoscopy and they gave me some sort of thing, it was like a white liquid they put into my hand. I swear to God, my arm caught fire. It was like the hot.
burn.
It was
Oh, going-
burning
burns.
so
Yeah,
bad,
burns
and I just
going in.
passed out.
Yeah,
It's
but
napalm.
most people don't even remember that, but yeah,
Really?
it burns. Yeah,
Oh
Going
man,
the
it was-
IV.
I remember thinking, "Holy shit, something's fucking wrong." I'm done.
Yeah,
I guess it was right.
probably Verse said okay. Or
Let's see
propofol,
what
yeah.
else we got here. Here's a question I had: what if a part of your consciousness is awakened or dies during the process of dying and coming
Well,
back?
you're assuming that consciousness is
Yeah,
something that's
here we go
tangible
again.
and we
Yeah.
can measure.
I don't
Here we
mean
go again.
consciousness, so to speak. I mean like personality, even. Like you stopped liking tomatoes. And it's things like that. Just like a little part of your brain.
Or
just
you had a
changed.
near-death experience and now you know French or can play the piano or something like that.
Well, that's a
right?
little bit more than.
That happens. That shit
Yeah.
like that has happened.
Yeah, read a
before.
comic book. That happens all the time.
Yeah, goddamn, duh. No, that's
Yeah,
really
watch a
happened to people.
Shyamalan movie.
That sounds like some
Happens.
Professor X type of shit, though.
Yeah,
Really?
You bonked your head. You almost died. Now you can read minds.
Okay.
that's actually not a bad plot for a movie.
Yeah. Sounds like
it's
the movie
probably been a
Phenomenon
movie.
with
Probably been done. Yeah.
fucking what's his
Oh
name?
yeah, that's a near-death experience movie too. He got hit by fucking lightning.
No, it was a meteor. He thought it was a meteor. It was
Is
cancer.
that the one with Travolta?
It was cancer.
Yeah.
Cancer did is
He thought he got hit by a meteor, then he got all smart, could read a book and learn a language in an hour.
telekinetics and shit too.
Oh yeah, he was moving shit around.
Yeah.
Then it turned out he had cancer.
How about
he just had brain surgery.
It was Powder. Remember that one?
Hey,
That was a good
I
movie.
liked
Hated that
Powder.
movie. Oh,
You know, he was one of the guy that played him was one of the
Michael Flanagan.
Boondock Saints.
Yeah,
how did he
something
get his
Flanagan.
power?
Sean Patrick.
How'd he get
Did
his?
they even explain it?
His
wife
mom was struck by lightning
Oh, him too.
while she was in
boy.
on the
Well,
way
similar
on the way to the
give the kid
hospital.
It's like Blade attacked by his mom
No,
was
she was-
attacked
yeah,
by
she
a
was
vampire
pregnant.
or whichever.
Oh,
He had no pigment in his skin or no
right.
hair.
I remember that.
Completely
Yeah,
hairless.
he was albino superhero.
So I thought this was really interesting. An out-of-body experience is likely the best way to confirm an NDE. That is, if a person is able to report on something that happened during their near-death experience, like a conversation they couldn't have witnessed, etc., then we'd have to take a lot better, closer look at something. You know what I mean? If you can see something
Right.
that happened
Well, of
outside your
course.
room. So there's a test they have to where you have a stimuli that is placed unknown to the person. Like, say you have a room where a lot of people might have coronaries. So there's going to be a lot of chance for NDEs there.
Oh yeah.
You leave a stimuli.
Stimulus.
Singular.
Singular.
Is
Yeah.
multiple.
Yes. Plural.
That is unknown to patients and, if possible, unknown to the staff of the hospital. And then you interview these people directly after they are saved or come back
Uh-huh.
and see if any of them report on the stimuli. So I think there's been 6 actual attempts where they've did this type of test, and none of them have actually reported that the stimulus was
Okay.
there.
That good. I think that pretty much states it all.
Pretty much.
Although I don't know. Who knows?
Have you heard the story of Maria, a migrant worker who had an NDE during a cardiac arrest in a hospital in Seattle in 1977? She told her social worker that while doctors were resuscitating her, she found herself floating outside the hospital building and saw a tennis shoe on the 3rd floor window ledge, which she described in some detail. The social worker went to the window Maria had indicated, and not only did she find the shoe, but the way it was placed meant that there was no way Maria could have seen all the details she described from inside her hospital room.
That's been verified. No, that
So
one's
it goes
okay,
on.
Okay,
It starts to get a little fuzzier.
Oh yeah. There's.
While her shoe certainly makes for a compelling story, it's thin on the evidential side. A few years after being treated, she disappears, and nobody was able to track her down to confirm her story.
They tracked down the shoe.
Probably not either.
Yeah.
No, missing.
It's a single shoe. It probably got thrown away. What the fuck is a tennis shoe doing there?
That sketch on the news, but
Where's the other shoe? That's the real fucking mystery.
Find the other one.
Yeah, of the person that they belong to. So here's a case with a lot more evidence is of Pam Reynolds.
Oh boy. Well, what do you think about that? You buy that one?
Do I buy that she saw it?
I mean,
Dude,
we're
I
here to
don't-
comment, not just to.
I don't know, because once you start, again, we get right back into what is consciousness again.
Sounds like
if you
BS to me.
if you can exist without a body, then who knows, man? We don't know exactly consciousness. We don't know what it is, the mechanism.
That's a soul, though, not necessarily consciousness.
Consciousness, or even consciousness or the soul, do either exist?
All right.
Is it the same?
Read Gilbert Ryle.
Well, why don't you summarize it? You've read it.
I didn't,
Our
I
listeners
didn't
would-
understand it.
Well, and you think I'm going to do
He
any
doesn't.
better?
He didn't think there is such a thing as consciousness. Well, I get.
What
It's
does he
just part
think
of
it
the
is?
body.
Just
chemicals,
complex if and thens
a few chemicals. That's all.
and response to stimulus, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
so you guys believe in a soul?
So we're no better than complex computer programs, is what he's saying.
Probably a lot worse.
Worse.
Yeah.
Do I
Not
believe
as
in a
good
soul?
as.
Yeah, you believe in a soul.
I believe
in the
everyone has-
concept of a soul.
Nah, not really. I do think everybody has a specific consciousness. I don't know exactly how that's governed, but everyone
Or
has
even
different.
generated.
It's
How's
obviously
it
everyone's
generated?
different.
You know what I mean?
I think you can have a soul though, and not necessarily that doesn't prove or disprove this. You know that you would be conscious.
No,
Your
I know.
soul
It's just
leaves,
related
and that's
along to
totally,
it. It's
that's
just
on
a
different
question I had.
dimension.
You guys,
That's what I'm
do
saying,
you
though.
believe in that soul?
Automatically becomes religious to me.
You think
To where
so?
my soul doesn't belong to me. It was a
is that
gift to me
word
by another.
damned
It's not damned
by
so to
you?
speak. But it automatically makes me conjure like my life was a gift from a higher power. You know, my soul was
call that a
gifted this
gift?
body. Well, so to speak. They'd like you to believe
Take
that.
it back.
Exactly. They'd like you to believe it's a gift. Was bestowed upon this body. The soul that I am was bestowed upon
That's
this
your
body.
temple, and
So what happens when you die? That's the
too.
question. Is that
Goddamn,
it,
I'm
or
wrong.
is your
You
soul?
know I have
survived?
no clue. I just told you I've never almost died. Do I have any thoughts about what I have?
Yeah,
I think you shut off.
That's it.
Everything just goes
Soul
black.
too.
That's,
Your
I
soul
think
too.
that's it.
If there's nothing there,
I don't
Then
think
there's no
a
soul.
I think we're
soul's
electrical.
eternal, right?
is
By
it? Is it?
definition.
Why are you telling me right? We can't even prove that
I'm
there is a
asking.
soul.
You
I
can-
hope
Well, he
there
says
is something after.
he's contradicting himself. He says there. I do have a soul, but when I die, everything's gone, including.
I don't.
The
I never
soul.
said I think I have a soul.
Oh,
I have
you
a
don't?
consciousness. I know I have a consciousness.
yeah,
I think
I'll
therefore
grant
I
you
am.
that.
Right.
So there's the next question. Are
Cogito
the
ergo
consciousness?
sum.
Is your consciousness tied to your soul at all?
Again, depending on what definition of soul is, what is soul?
It's like the ability to move good.
Get
and-
Seoul's a
funky.
city in
nice
South Korea.
movies, or nice movies.
Yeah, there's that too. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, no.
Define soul
Right. I had some stuff. On
without religious implications. Can you do it?
It's like it's you. It's at
Your
very
essence?
Your
basic.
essence,
It's your joys, your
yes,
sorrows, your
yes.
memories, your ambitions.
What's the difference between that and your consciousness?
Your sense of personal identity and
Well,
free
soul
will.
doesn't necessarily. Consciousness to me implies a certain cognition and
That's
thought.
what I say, your
soul
string of
doesn't
thought.
necessarily think.
Your consciousness is from when you
Soul's
flipped
like
on.
your energy. It's more energy. What?
I would say they
some
were
sort
all
of
part of the
ineffable
same
energy.
They would almost be part of the same package. You know
I
what
don't
mean?
think Gilbert Ryle would agree
Like the
with
consciousness
that. I don't
is
think Rene
part
Descartes
of the
would
soul, so to
agree.
speak, or part of the essence. I don't know.
Rene Descartes called it the Ghost in the Machine.
Go on.
Isn't that a band?
That's
No, it
Rage
was
Against
a,
the Machine.
It was a comic in movies.
Francis Crick said about the soul,
What does
you,
he know?
your joys, your sorrows, your memories, your ambitions, your sense of personal identity and free will are in fact no more than the behavior of a vast assembly of nerve cells and their associated molecules.
Well, there you go. You heard it from Francis Crick. You know who he is, right?
Yeah, I think I misspelled. I think it was crack.
He was on
It's
it.
not even Francis Crick.
But
Oh,
It's
but
Bob Crick from down the street.
anyway, that story I was telling you about Pam Reynolds, right? Singer-songwriter.
Okay,
In
who's this?
91, she was 35 years old and went surgery to remove a brain aneurysm at the
Okay.
base of her brain.
Right. Makes
Worried
sense.
that the aneurysm might burst and kill her during the operation, her surgeon opted for the more radical hypothermic cardiac arrest.
Oh, yeah, that's where they freeze you down to like 60 degrees.
Exactly. Chilled her body down to 60 degrees, stopped her heart,
There you
and
go.
drained the blood from her head.
By the way, I've never done this procedure.
Well, no shit. Nobody. Hopefully,
I
nobody
freeze
lets
you down
do-
to 50 to do a bunionectomy.
I wouldn't let
right,
you
Dr.
draw blood.
Horowitz?
I wouldn't let you draw blood, let alone drain my
Hey,
fucking
hey,
body.
hey. Watch it.
It says the cooling would prevent her cells from dying while deprived of oxygen.
Of course.
When the
Yep.
doctors restarted her heart and warmed her body back up, she would, in effect, be rebooted.
In
to make-
effect, yeah, I guess.
To make absolutely sure that Reynolds' brain was completely inactive during the operation, the medical team put small speakers into her ears and played rapid, continuous clicks at 100 decibels.
That's
fucking
pretty
loud.
loud.
decibels.
A sound level described as the equivalent to produced by a lawnmower or a jackhammer.
Yeah.
If any part of her mind was working, that insistent clicking would show up as electrical signals in the brainstem, which the surgeons were monitoring on an electroencephalogram,
yeah.
EEG. The machine confirmed for a number of minutes Reynolds was effectively dead in both brain and body. Yet after the surgery, she reported having a powerful NDE, including an out-of-body experience, and accurately recalled several details about what was going on in the operating room, such as shape of the bone saw used on her skull,
Wow.
snatches of the conversation between
yeah,
them.
but what's a bone saw going to look like? Like that? What do you?
I don't know. A lot of different.
You got a pretty. You got
Yeah, it looks like a little fucking back and forth wiggly fucking
Well,
thing.
there's several different kinds.
The ones they use on
That's cer-
skulls are like that.
Yeah,
generally,
that's what you'd think if you watch any kind of CSI or something where they do the autopsy.
I like to watch them on YouTube where they do the actuals, like the real surgeries.
Oh, yeah,
You
they have
watch
them?
that shit?
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Why?
Why not? Have you ever seen somebody get their heart removed? That's
Nope.
fucking cool looking.
Oh, I like to see that.
Yeah, get on YouTube. You can see any
I
surgery.
want to see trauma though. Trauma's fun.
I'll pass.
Do they have
on
that?
shit.
They have like gunshots and stuff.
I'm sure they do.
Wow.
I'd rather
I would
watch
think
that.
they would. I would think they would censor that kind of stuff. Not for the squeamish.
I'd rather watch that idiot cold start like a fucking old Ford 500.
That's fun too. That's fun too. Spraying the ether.
Uh-huh.
More ether.
We got to double fist this bitch. Fucking guy's great.
All right. So what happened to Pam?
So let's see where we at here.
I hope she didn't lose her ability to play the guitar, huh? Like we were talking about.
She accurately recalled several details of what was going on, such as the shape of the bone saw used in her skull, snippets of the conversation between the medical staff and the staff listening to. She recalled rather inappropriately to Hotel California.
Really?
The song?
Yeah,
Hotel
you can check
California?
out anytime.
Yeah, I know the song. Yeah, thanks. Okay.
For the near-death experience community, Reynolds is Exhibit A.
Okay.
So,
I'm all right. I'm sold. That's good enough for me.
well, that's kind of interesting. She knew what song it was playing. She could recall details of the conversation.
Yeah, but like we were talking about, a lot of these people,
could be
not a
partly
lot,
switched
but a
on.
few of these people that have EEGs that are flat, they come back to life. So they're
What
not
about the bone saw?
technically dead.
See, the real kicker is seeing something outside of the room that you're in.
I don't know.
If you can do that, if you can say what somebody
Yeah,
walking down the
yeah.
hall was doing, somehow corroborate that.
Yeah.
That's hard to.
If you
hard
know
to
who
go
won the
against.
fifth race at Fairmount Park and you weren't anywhere near there, nobody had a radio, then I'd start, okay, well, why would they just be in this local area? You would think once it's out of your body, you can go anywhere.
And I wonder why you would be. Again, we don't know the physics of any of this bullshit. Constricted to your current time.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I mean? If
Or
you're-
dimension. Although you could never prove
Though-
that you were in another dimension.
Though if you're seeing like loved ones or anything else like that, you would think you're existing out of time at that point anyway. I wonder
Yeah.
what people look
well,
like. They're like, because everybody says residual self-image. You look
Right.
like what you're going to look like.
so when you
I don't
have
buy
that
that.
near-death experience, if you have the out-of-body part or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be, like Do you look like what you did when you're like laying on the table right there, or were just hit by the car, or electrocuted, or drowned?
Hard to say. What if you died as an infant?
What you feel like in your head?
What if you died as an infant, never learned English?
Ooh, touche. Good. Well, then you wouldn't really have like a near-death experience.
You wouldn't have a residual self-image for one. But whenever like your mother comes to heaven, so to speak, or whatever, and meets you as your spirit self, she should immediately recognize
It's supposed
you.
to know you exactly.
Wonder what an aborted child would.
So that's why I don't think there's.
Only Armand.
Well, I was saying, like the third trimester, they've
When
got
does the
consciousness.
soul deposited? Is what we need to know.
I don't know. I think it's pretty much there by then.
I'm
You
gonna
got
call my
fingernails,
pastor.
so you probably got a soul.
As soon as the sperm comes out before it hits the ground, it's too late. Is what I've heard.
That's already genocide.
point,
it's-
It's
take it
already
easy.
genocide.
All right.
You can't jerk off. I know that.
That's not.
That's
later
onanism.
allowed.
I've committed so many atrocities.
Think how many people you've killed.
I don't want to. I feel like I'm way worse than Stalin. Like I make Stalin look like a kindergarten teacher.
I don't believe that.
If those are considered atrocities,
Kindergarten teachers are murderers too.
I'm like a galactic Stalin at this
Onanist.
point. You know, my numbers.
All right.
Yeah,
Enough
like,
of that.
yeah, uh-huh.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Hard on.
You're not Stalin.
I was just thinking, hey, Armand.
More
over
like
there's the-
Mussolini.
Must be docking time, huh?
Yeah, somebody.
Fuck,
Frank made a
Armand's already
joke
talking
about
about
Doc. Somebody
hard-ons.
had it made me laugh. I don't. Frank always cracks a good
So
one.
you don't buy that fucking left brain, right brain stuff, though, huh?
Yeah, that's hard to believe too.
No,
That's
so
kinda
you don't
stupid.
like you don't think like
That's
left-handed
just-
people are better at math and science or
No,
nothing like that?
you know,
No?
I think that's just an excuse that people say.
Okay,
Anybody
no,
that can't
I'm
do
asking you.
figures or whatever, go, I'm very right-sided or whatever. I'm creative. And,
Oh no, I'm
yeah.
decent with math for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do differential equations.
Did you make it
No,
a trig?
I said decent.
Oh,
He's dissing with arithmetic.
Yeah, you ever seen one of those abacuses? There you go.
Have you?
abaci.
Yeah. No,
You know how to use an
abacuses.
abacus?
They are abacuses,
Yeah, I
actually.
know how to use an abacus. Come on, man.
I don't know about that because abacus.
times by 9.
That's Chinese, right?
Fuck.
It's not Greek.
It's Chinese, yeah.
So it probably would. I don't know. I mean, only Latin where U.S. is I. You know,
I
when somebody says
literally invented the
octopi,
abacus.
that's
What about
incorrect.
I literally invented it.
Octopuses.
What about dick eye? Or dickus?
Dickus, biggest dickus.
Be dick eye? Multiple dickus?
Yeah, that's Latin.
Be dick
Yeah.
eye, yeah.
Yeah, but not Greek.
Hmm.
You can't. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Just
Well, how do we get to that? All right. Anyway.
God knows.
All right. So what were we? So did we buy Pam's story or what? I guess we didn't. I don't know.
I mean,
yeah, buy or don't
Okay.
buy.
That's Exhibit A though. That's the
the
big.
people who
But
are.
the thing is, you can't tell
I don't
anybody.
know, I'm not convinced.
You can't tell anyone that what they experienced wasn't their
No, of course
experience.
not.
You know what I mean? Like,
But
'cause
There are explanations beyond. I died and went to heaven or whatever. I saw the light and I came back. That's like I think that being abducted by aliens is probably more plausible than that.
Can you have an NDE if your brain is deprived of oxygen, but your heart doesn't stop? So say like somebody puts you in a like a rear naked
Sleeper
choke,
hold.
a sleeper hold, and cuts off your carotid. You
No,
get
your brain, no, I think you don't flatline. Your brain doesn't flatline until your heart does. I think it was
Not my
20
Is that right?
seconds.
But if you can cut
You're
off,
sleeping though when a guy sleeper holds you.
so it's
you're
just
just
sleep.
unconscious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so I guess how long does it take to go
But-
from unconscious to dead?
Well, my point is, can you have the
Continue
same
holding.
experience? You know what I mean? Your brain is deprived of oxygen, similar to when you die.
Oh,
Like right at that moment of death, as you're getting ready to die.
There's definitely a reset that happens. Like you're fucking, you get
this
fucking
is the
knocked
same,
out cold.
Effectively the same thing.
It's the same thing as getting bonked on the head. Then, in my
Although
opinion.
I don't know. I
Getting
mean,
punched by Mike
because
Tyson. This
if
is
a
near
guy puts
death.
a sleeper hold on you, he's going to cut off the carotids.
Right here,
I'm not. I guess that would. I guess I'm just wondering if there is some collateral, blood going to the brain. Not enough to keep you conscious, but I think enough that your brain is.
Well, you
still
can't
active.
completely cut it
You're
off
not
anyway.
dead. That's what I'm saying. I don't
you got
think,
blood pressure.
I would
There's
think
gonna
you got
skid a
some
little
kind
through,
of something. Yeah. I
but
don't
not
think
enough.
not enough to be conscious.
It
But
depends on
also
how-
not enough to kill you. Although I
Well,
guess
if you hold it long enough, there's a threshold for how much oxygen you can get through and need to live.
Is there?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean? Think about
Well,
if you
I'm
cut down.
I'm just saying that
flow
there's
to
probably
5%.
like you said,
That's
there's
not
enough.
enough.
I think there's enough. I don't know. I think it's
You
maybe
can-
not enough to kill you.
Yeah, but you know what, old men that 95% blocked.
Yeah, they got
and four of
occlusions.
four of my arteries 95% blocked, and they fuck. Oh,
And I
damn,
think
bro.
I wish we had a real doctor here who could tell us
we don't. Unfortunately, we
Hey,
don't.
this. He's like,
You got a fake doctor here. He'll tell you fuck off. How about that?
good enough. I like it.
How dare you?
You can
How
tell if
dare
we put
you.
a foot in a sleeper hole. Could you tell us how long it would take for it to fall asleep? Just till it starts tingling.
Armand, can you help
I
me
put
with my foot
we do
going to
surgery. We
sleep?
put a tourniquet on the foot for like 2 hours, but then you got to let the tourniquet down before
You don't want to lose the foot.
But yeah, that's pretty much completely cuts off the blood flow. That's why you do a dry. There's no blood in the field.
Can you help me be able to sit on my foot and it not go to sleep?
No, Once you do that, that's all it is.
Jesus.
What else do you want?
Worthless.
We're not miracle men.
God damn it. Would CTE give you a different out-of-body experience? Not that we know that
What's
at
a
all.
CTE?
A CTE is chronic traumatic encephalitis.
You know, like football players, boxers have, where they get continuous
the concussion
concussions.
thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Team good at
Interesting.
that.
That's Frank there.
That's a pretty good
He always
question,
asks a
but I don't
probing
really
question.
know.
I think what the commonality is in all this is that your brain basically it's short circuited and reset all in one fucking go. You know what I mean? It just
Team Greta. Come on, Loire.
if the OS just is unable to operate, it doesn't have the electricity it needs, the fuel it needs, whatever it needs to keep going at the time of death in a sleeper hold, getting punched in the head by Mike Tyson. It's all the same thing. It's your brain going, bloop, I can't run with the current situation. And it stops.
No, but I think near-death experiences are more than just being unconscious.
You think?
Though. Yeah, I do. Because then what is a dream a near-death experience?
I think
it's similar.
I don't think your EEG flatlines.
No,
I don't even think even with the the carotid is cut off because I think like I said there is some collateral circulation that is enough to keep
See, I
the
have
brain
trouble believing
alive.
that anything at all can happen when you have an EEG that is completely flat. There's no electricity. What is happening without electricity?
Well, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah, that's
there's
the point.
nothing. Supposedly that brain is shut down, but
Right.
these people are still cognizant of what's going on,
And they're still
That's the whole-
having experiences.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, right?
That's my point. I have
No one knows. It's not just
no
you.
ability to believe that anything is going
It's not
on.
just
in
you.
the
So
head.
listen to this, Everett. Since a 2010 study published in the Journal of Clinical Care offers yet another possible explanation. Researchers looked at blood samples taken from 52 patients shortly after they'd survived cardiac arrest. The 11 patients who reported experience in NDEs tended to have significantly high levels of carbon dioxide in their bloodstreams. This data jives with the studies that link to high CO2 levels with visual hallucinations. And mountain climbers who've experienced CO2 spikes at high altitudes have reported seeing bright lights and having other hallucinations similar to NDEs. But again, the researchers only offer a caveat. Not every patient in the study who had high CO2 levels had an NDE. So there's also some evidence that NDEs have something to do with the mind itself rather than the psychological processes. Long story short, without a lot of reading, they don't fucking know. Nobody knows what's going on.
Well, here's the
They have
question:
no idea.
How many people that have been, resuscitated and more or less brain dead, claim to have MD? These near-death experiences. I don't know. It's not all of them.
I had this stat earlier, but it was a very small
Right.
percentage.
So right there, it tells you something's screwy.
it was less than 20%.
Matt, I've heard that the brain releases DMT during sleep and near death.
There is
but
absolutely
I don't
no
know.
scientific evidence.
Yeah, well,
of that.
there is scientific evidence that a rat's brain produces it.
Yeah, well, that's
So
a rat.
actually, sorry, more than that, the rat's pineal gland produces
Oh
it.
boy. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
That's-
window to the soul.
That's
is
it,
what they
right
call
there.
Yeah.
I think that was Descartes too.
Was it?
That's
Pineal gland is the window to
the
the soul.
pineal gland. Yeah.
Fucking Descartes, man. He was into some shit.
Oh, he was cool. Yeah. Anybody who invents the roulette wheel is
Did
all
he
right.
invent green and double green?
I don't think so. I think that was later.
That was probably Caesar.
Caesar.
Caesar's Palace.
Oh,
believe
that's
it.
Caesar. Yeah, I was gonna say, you got your
Does Caesar
timeline
stay
mixed
here?
up.
Not a Roman.
Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
Now I read somewhere Julius Caesar invented polo.
Wait a minute. The sport or the
Yeah, the sport.
Okay.
The
Not
cologne.
the
I've read-
cologne.
the cologne.
He invented Drakkar, but get out of here. Funny man.
Funny like how, Armand?
He amused me.
Excellent. All right, guys. You got anything else for the main part of the show? I feel like we've
Yeah,
talked the balls
I
off
think it's
about
all
it.
bullshit. How about that?
I feel like I want to talk about the pineal gland and DMT more.
Let's talk about it then.
Like
Without sitting here and being able to do it, though, we have very little experience to be able to say.
I've done DMT before.
Okay. Did what you see? Did it seem completely what like everybody else says?
No.
Then what did you see?
I didn't
How
see
do you
it.
know what you got was for sure DMT?
I don't.
Then there's that.
Yeah.
I think you got to get some
I
more
didn't see.
ketamine.
I didn't see shit like that at
Let's
all.
synthesize our own. Get some mimosa.
You know any
bark.
chemists or something? I mean,
Yeah, you can get everything you need to do off the internet, man. The internet is a wonderful thing.
yeah.
Is that what the DMT's from?
It's from anything. Banana
It's
peels.
from a. But the main was
Mimosa
the-
bark is
yeah.
the word that most people get it out.
And
of.
what? And some comes out of sassafras roots too. I can't remember what that is, but
sassafras tea.
no, there's a psychoactive
Well,
substance.
same
I
thing,
thought.
is right?
Yeah.
You get aspirin comes from the willow.
Doesn't it? I didn't
Yeah,
know
The
that.
pussy willow?
Acetaminophen?
Acetyl salicylic acid.
Oh.
Phenolphthalein.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us on this
Well,
first part of today's
on our
episode.
first
Are we all agreed
inaugural.
though? This is all crap, or what?
No, not crap. I just say we can't
No.
prove it. Just because we can't prove it or no one else can prove it and it can't be proved and it's crap doesn't mean it's crap.
I personally
What
don't
did he
believe.
just say?
Yeah, he's full of shit.
Why don't you put that on the intro? 'Cause that's
was good,
quite
wasn't
a
it?
quote. Yeah, keep that one.
While
Clip
I
it.
believe that we switch off and we're done. That's what, and life is special because of that.
Yeah, what about this though? Okay, so how
we
do you
don't
explain
know.
this?
We don't. I can't explain it. That's why I can't shut the door on it. Something might happen.
Let's say it's a brain fart. That's all it is. You know, your neurons go crazy, your synapses and everything, and you see kind of
You short
wild
circuit.
shit.
Short circuit.
Yeah,
God knows what
and
you
you
see.
die.
Hmm.
But they bring you back. Okay, you're all right. Then
It's
you
like
get
if your
pissed
car
off
got
and you
struck by
feel like you're in
lightning
love.
and all of your dash things started going crazy, huh?
Coronavirus.
All right, guys, catch us here on the after show here in a few minutes. Check us out online, surrealtalkpodcast.com. Vote in the poll. Find us on all forms of social media. We've got a Patreon, patreon.com/Surreal Talk if you want
What's
to donate
that?
to the show. It's a voluntary
Oh.
donation thing.
Oh,
Check us out on Twitch. This is our first show that we've actually done a live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Surreal Talk. Full amenities. You can go on there, follow us, doing basically anything you can do on Twitch with anything. I think it's a better platform than YouTube. YouTube likes to
What's
steal
the
all
But
the
we
difference.
would never tell YouTube that.
I wouldn't.
Well, you know that little thing
I've never been on
says
Twitch.
super chat. You know, we get people give us like $2 or whatever in super chat. YouTube takes most of that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, YouTube takes most of it.
Well, what does Twitch take?
None.
Send
So-
on Twitch.
So if you guys feel like super chatting, go over to the Twitch page and hit
That
the
one's
donate
easy.
button. Hit the donate button, and whenever you donate, you get to write a little message, which will come up on our stream. And if you donate over $10, whatever you write in that, and be nice, whatever you write in
Don't
that
care.
box,
For $10, you can be nasty. Who cares?
Well,
How
hold on.
dare you?
it gets
Yeah.
worse.
Where's my youth?
It gets worse. Whatever they write, if it's and they pay or they donate over $10, it gets said verbally out loud on our stream by an automatic thing. We can't stop.
Yeah,
it.
we can't stop it. There's
I've never
nothing
had a
we can do
near
about
doc
it.
experience,
So
Frank.
somebody could drop $10 right now, say fuck
Funny.
Eric, fuck Armand, Everett rules, and there's nothing you guys could do about it.
No one would
I heard
ever
They
do
could get
that.
real racist, and there's nothing we could do about it.
Ooh.
Why would you like tempt people like that?
They could get really.
Our
really
listeners
bad. I don't
aren't
care.
racist.
They want to do it. That's
You can
fine.
upload nudes to that one and my personal email address if you'd like. No.
I wonder if you can get banned from Twitch if somebody like
Yes.
you could do the GIF thing and somebody
Yes.
donates and does that.
You can't put your own GIF in there though, right? You can only you have
You
to
can-
use a GIF that you've been provided, right?
I don't know. I think you can't put your own GIF in.
Hmm.
I don't know. Let's find out the fun way.
Right.
Anyway, we'll catch you guys here in about 15 minutes on the after show, and we'll see you then. Thanks for
All
coming.
right. Thanks,
Leave
everybody.
it, mate.
All right. Hold on. I wanted to run show people what this looks like whenever somebody does an actual donation or something here.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're live. The show's
Oh.
done recording, but so here's what happens whenever there's a dono. John donated $50. This is a test. So if John would have, put in the message, this is a test donation. That's what, like, or whatever somebody writes would have did that. So if somebody goes on and just does a follow, it pops up on screen. You'll see it here in just a second. It says Surreal Talk is now following, or whatever your name is. It's a little behind. There you go. So we picked some cool little things. If you subscribe to us, you get this one here.
So they can, if they donate, they can put up whatever they want.
Yeah, they get to pick a picture or a gift to go behind it. They can put whatever text they want.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Why don't you turn your volume down? Why you got your volume up?
Yeah.
It's very, very irritating. Yeah, that's basically it. We got the same thing for YouTube. So if you do, like a super chat on YouTube, a little message will come up. So we're just trying to keep it a little more interactive than it has been. You'll notice that we've changed the chat thing now. It looks like little fucking speech bubbles, which is pretty cool.
We
I
didn't
think.
tell them about they could buy that custom message area.
Oh, so yeah, every week now, here's what we wanted to do. Whoever does the biggest donation every week or whatever, we're right now where it says support us on Patreon. I'll put whatever you want there for the
Within reason.
next show.
Within reason.
Within reason. Don't be a jack off.
Don't be too reasonable.
No, I'm not gonna be
Yeah,
too
no, I
reasonable.
mean,
Anybody donate?
you got an opinion. Yeah.
You could put
It
up
could,
Trump
it could
2020.
literally
I
be.
don't care if
That's
I believe
exactly
it or
what I was fucking
I
thinking
don't
too.
care.
Somebody could put Trump
Yeah,
2020.
right.
not. I mean, it's your
I'll pay you
dollar.
for that.
Will you?
Damn right.
Yeah, all right,
I'll
so
put it
go
up
ahead,
there.
Darman,
I'll
donate.
put $10 up for that one.
All right, we got to beat $10. There's the mark to beat. All right, guys, we will we'll catch you here in
Hey, and
about
by the way,
15 minutes.
you know, Ocho Man and I have that $500 bet. You
Yeah,
were there.
I was there. I was there.
You were there too?
Yeah, I was there.
See you in a
He's
few.
not going to wiggle out of that.
He thinks he's gonna.